Hi, I'm Julia from Prison the Hidden Sentence, and today we're going to talk about what you can bring and wear when you're visiting your loved one in prison. During the 15 years that my brother was in prison, he was in at least 5 different facilities. It didn't matter if I was visiting the same facility or a different facility. No 2 visits were the same, so I had to make sure I was prepared for anything. The first thing I tell everyone to do is read the rules of the facility you're visiting. When my brother first went to prison, the internet and social media were not as widely used as it is now, so your benefit is that you can go to the facility site to get the information you need, and most facilities now do provide this information. There's 4 steps that you need to know for any visit. Locate the inmate, your loved one, be approved, be prepared, and plan your trip. Let's talk about being prepared and how to decide what you should wear. The basic rule is to wear clothing that's appropriate for a large gathering of men, women, and children. Wearing inappropriate clothing, such as provocative or revealing clothes, could result in them denying your visit. If you do a search on just visiting prisons, the California Department of Corrections always seems to display first and has a lot of information on visiting prison. So I'm going to use this as a guideline. According to the California DOC, you need to bring some form of picture ID. If you're bringing a minor with you, there's another set of rules that you must follow if you're the parent, guardian, relative, or friend. They also have a long list of what you can wear, and this is one of the most important things to know, because if you're wearing the wrong type of clothing or shoes, they can prohibit visiting. And if you're like me, who had to travel a great distance to visit, the last thing that you want is to be turned away from your visit. One piece of advice is to bring extra clothes in case you need to change. Remember, the rules are there so that you're not mistaken for a prisoner by wearing the same color or types of clothes that the inmates have. But the rules are up to the interpretation of the guards. So from the California DOC, and remember, most facilities are similar, there's 4 rules to remember. First, do not wear clothing that resembles the clothing that prisoners wear. Second, do not wear clothing that resembles what custodial staff wear. Third, dress conservatively and modestly. And fourth, do not wear any item that cannot be taken off and will not clear a metal detector. Things such as an underwire bra or clothing with metal buttons. Here's a few other specific restrictions that you may not have thought of. No wigs, hair pieces, extensions, or other head pieces except for medical reasons and with prior approval. No hats or gloves except with prior approval or in bad weather, and no shower shoes. And again, remember that interpretation of the rules are up to the guard, and just like us, every guard is different, so adhere to these rules. As I mentioned earlier, bringing extra clothes is a good idea if you have a vehicle to store them in. It will not only help you, but can also help others that may have been turned away. I've heard many stories about lending clothes, and in fact, I've lent clothes so someone could visit their loved one. One time, the woman was so tiny that my pants were too large for her, but she didn't care because she could get in to see her loved one. You're also limited to what you can bring into the prison, so know the rules. Here are some examples from the California DOC of what you can bring. A $50 limit per adult that has to be in denominations of dollar bills, dollar coins, and quarters, and this is for the vending machines. You want to have a small clear plastic purse or bag, 2 keys on a ring with no other attachments, your ID, a comb or brush, a small unopened pack of tissues or a handkerchief, no bandanas, a pair of prescription glasses, and you can bring up to 10 appropriate photographs and 10 pages of documents that will be reviewed during processing, and then you have to take them with you when you leave. They also have specific rules of what you can bring in for babies and toddlers. Now, if you need to bring medication into the facility, you'll need documentation from your doctor as to its need. The medication should be in its original pharmacy container, and you should only bring in as much as you need during the visit. For medical devices, you'll also need the appropriate documentation and approval from the facility. The facility should have lockers for small items like your medication. Lastly, it's important to know what you can wear or bring if you have certain religious traditions that you follow. According to the California DOC, if your religion requires you to wear a certain type of clothing that would otherwise be unacceptable by operating procedures, such as a Muslim headdress or Catholic habits, you will be allowed to wear the clothing. However, be prepared to remove it for inspection in a private location with an officer of the same gender. Most visiting rooms have copies of the Bible, the Quran, and the Torah. If you wish to bring in the Bible of your faith because a copy is not available, just ask the visiting sergeant or lieutenant for permission. So make sure to visit the website of the facility that you're going to visit and know their rules. I can't say that enough. Know their rules. You can also call the facility and they will provide you with the information that you need. Remember, knowledge is power. So know your rights. Know what you could bring when visiting your loved one. This is Julia from Prison the Hidden Sentence. Our hope from Hidden Sentence is that this information will make your visits less stressful so you can enjoy your time with your loved one. You can visit us at prisonthehiddensentence.com or follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Hidden Sentence. Thank you.